Samyak Charitra. Right knowledge, right understanding, and right practice. These three are very important. Jainism, we say Samyak Darshana, Samyak Jnana, Charitra. So first is knowledge, second is understanding, and third is following. So first, knowledge is incomplete unless you understand it properly. So next is, unless it is practiced in action, all these two are not in good term, because I don't do this, but others do it, I can't stop it. No, I have to stop. In Dharmasala, when they come, we tell them not to sacrifice. Some of them are angry with me. Some of them, they say, suppose we don't sacrifice animals, then my deity may get angry. I tell them, don't worry. If that anger is on you, let it be transferred to me. We have that energy in Dharmasala to acquire all these evil spirits. So you can be rest assured, nothing can happen. So with this, I just want to tell you that our temples are the places of healing, places of abhayadana, relieving from fear, doubts, confusion, and all sorts of stress and pain. So let again our holy places, whether it is a church, mosque, temple, or a Jain mandir, whatever it is, let it be a center of worship, let it be a center of blessings, let it be a center of release. With this again, I welcome you all and say that continue your participation in this conference. And next one day left for tomorrow. Today there is also this Ashtamangala. The scholar tells me that he cannot perform Ashtamangala Prashnottara. There cannot be question and answer in the Ashtamangala. Ashtamangala is going deep into the aspects of the past and guiding for the future. It is unbelievable how the knowledge is acquired by these. They must be having 3,000 to 4,000, 5,000 slokas by hearted. How much you know? 5,000 unta, 3,000 unta. Huh? 5,000 shlokas they must by heart. Minimum 3,000 to 5,000. 5,000. So in any given situation, instantly he can chant that mantra and say this is the reason and this is the solution. For our song is even a national anthem. If you say from fifth line you sing, you cannot sing. It should start from the first Janagana to Jai Hai. If you say in between you start, I cannot start. But these people are so much trained by their gurus. They can quote 5,000 shlokas plus in between. It may be 4,800, 3,200. Instantly it will come from their mouth and they will give the explanation for the situation they have found and the reasoning why the conclusion has been arrived. So I just appreciate their interest in coming over here and showing us what is a Ashtamangala. So that is also a knowledge that we must protect, preserve for the future. So only problem is we have no schools to train Jyotish Shastra, Vastu Shastra and many other. There are Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan is doing it to some extent, but we should have more institutions to impart education in these specialized knowledge schools, knowledges. So again, I don't know whether I have taken a few minutes more, but I wish that you have heard very interesting personalities addressing you. May Manjunatha bless you.
We are grateful to Dr. Hegde ji for his words of blessings. I request you all to be kindly seated. We have a small felicitation for Dr. Hegde ji. Bharati Vidya Bhavan is indeed most honored to felicitate Dr. Hegde ji. I invite Sri Ramanujan, Chairman Bharati Vidya Bhavan, Director Bharati Vidya Bhavan Suresh is on the dais, Mr. Piyush Jain, Treasurer Bharati Vidya Bhavan, and Sri H.R. Anant, Vice Chairman. I request you all to kindly felicitate Dr. Hegde ji. Suttur Math Swamiji has sent his felicitations to Dr. Hegde ji. Representatives of Suttur Math are here.
Shri Mumtaz Ali, a disciple of Maheshwar Nath Babaji, born as Mumtaz Ali Khan into an affluent and liberal Muslim family in Kerala, quest for self-realization, and left home at the age of 19 to find his master in the Himalayas. Undertook Padayatra in 2015 from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, covering 7,000 to 8,000 kilometers. Heads the Satsang Foundation and also runs 2 schools in Andhra Pradesh. Author of many books, including The Himalayan Master, The Jewel in the Lotus, and Wisdom of the Rishis, and a wonderful speaker. He's going to talk to us on Understand Belief to Go Beyond. Over to you, sir.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vaditamastu Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I have half an hour, so. And the subject is deep. And I have half an hour, beliefs and beyond. It's not beliefs and beyond. I said understanding belief to go beyond. So first let us take up this word called belief. I don't want to go too much into quotations, but I'll stick to, because half an hour is very good time actually. Too much means people might go into Shushupti. So, belief. Commonly, even in our daily lives, we usually say, if something happens, some incident happens, very often we say, I can't believe it happened. And if something happens again, we say, can you believe it? So sometimes, even when things happen, our beliefs are suspended. Not only when things we don't know, but also when we know that certain things have happened, our beliefs are suspended because we don't know the reason why it has happened. That's why we say, can you believe it, that such and such a thing has happened? So where does this belief system come from? When we say belief, if I know for a certainty about anything, do I need a belief? If I know something for certain, do I need a belief? If I say the sun exists, I can see it, do I have to say I believe that the sun exists? No. So belief automatically means I don't know, therefore I am following a hypothesis. I don't know. It's not easy for people to say I don't know. That is the biggest problem in the study of the ancient teachings, because everybody knows. If I know, how am I going to explore? All the great scientists, I'm not talking about material scientists, I'm also talking about the spiritual scientists who are known as great rishis. Everyone started by asking, I don't know, so let me find out. Now, when I don't know, it's very easy to dismiss something by saying, well, it doesn't exist. But a person with understanding will always say, I don't know if it exists or not, but I prefer to believe that it exists. I prefer to believe that Chandana exists because it is in front of me. Then I can actually find out if it is there. So, a belief can be a positive belief, a belief can be a negative belief. When I say, I don't believe, that is also a belief. Please understand this carefully. When I say, I don't believe, that is my belief. What I'm trying to say is, in this world, we all live by a certain set of beliefs. Don't believe anybody who says, I have no beliefs. There is no such thing. It's a way of saying, I know everything. Impossible. Nobody knows everything. Somebody may know something, somebody may know something else. I might know something about Vedanta. You may know something about quantum physics. Because I know Vedanta, it doesn't mean that I know quantum physics. We have to understand this very carefully. People say, oh, he is a great saint, self-realized person. He has understood the truth, so he knows everything. Wrong. When the Upanishad said, when that is known, everything else is known, it means when that is known, one has no desire to know anything else. Not that you know everything. It's a wrong thing to go and ask, for instance, an unmarried man how to lead a married life. He doesn't know. So you might come up with wrong answers. I'm not saying because I'm married, but So I think marriage is a wonderful way to cut the ego and put it in shape. And if you want to live in this world properly, even that you have to have a set of beliefs. If you don't believe in the goodness of other human beings, would you always suspect everybody on earth? What kind of a miserable life is that? So a certain amount of faith. Now faith and belief are not so distinct. Faith and belief are similar, almost the same. So unless we believe, now I have a hypothesis. A hypothesis is not a fact that has been accepted. However, if I say, I have an hypothesis, but I think it is going to be proved wrong, then what kind of thing is that? That is a disbelief. When I say belief, it means I have a hypothesis. For thousands of years, people have said some things like that can exist. And I have that hypothesis. I am working towards it. When I find out, I am free to reject or accept it. Before I understand, if I reject it and say I don't believe, then it's a very tragic circumstance. So my suggestion is, before you start anything, have a certain belief in the system. Believe that things are not all the time bad. There are good things happening. Also believe that all the time everybody is not lying. Some people are speaking the truth. So these are basic, because my subject is belief. You understand belief, then you understand that which is beyond. Now, what is beyond us is what our five senses cannot detect. All human beings have only five senses. I don't know if there's anybody with a nine. There may be a sixth sense, but generally we have only five senses, and they are called Panchendriyas. That is sight, hearing, tongue, taste, smell, and touch. There are no other indriyas. So all the knowledge that we have, sorry, I don't know anything about astrology, so I'm sticking to my subject. So all the knowledge that we have is based on the inputs, if you want to use a computer language, inputs that we derive from this world based on our five sense organs, right? Is that correct? And then the mind manufactures from the data gathered a certain conclusion. So we say, this is correct. We have no access to anything beyond the five senses, do we? Yes, we have. The ancient sages said, apart from these five senses, the human system has other organs of perception. These organs of perception are usually not active in most people. Therefore, we are confined to this world of ideas manufactured by the limited sensation gathered through the five senses, the Panchendriyas. Why limited? In the morning when we started the talk, in the inaugural session, I said, very often we see something with our eyes, but it may prove to be illusory. I gave you an example. The sun rises and sets every day. That's what our Chakshu says, one of the Panchendriyas. But a schoolboy can tell you that the sun neither rises nor sets. The world is moving. So can I believe what I see? The same logic applies. Can I also believe in what I don't see? So, will I never see that which I cannot see? Yes, I will, if I learn ways and means which have been taught for thousands of years in this country, maybe other places also, but I can vouch for this country, by means of which the other instruments of perception, which is represented in many images, also in Shiva, as the third eye. Please don't think that the third eye is some kind of a hole in the forehead. It's an opening of a certain perception which we normally have but which is not active. When this happens, then I begin to understand the world multidimensionally and not just on these 5 limited inputs from my 5 sensory organs. Such a person is said to be a Vijnani. Nowadays Vijnana means science. Vijnana means that which is beyond ordinary jnana that comes through the 5 senses. So how do we go about it? I think the essential, basic, first thing is faith or belief. What is belief? Belief is when I don't know yet and I say it may be. If I start my exploration by saying, oh, such things don't exist, that is also my belief. Now that is called negative belief. Now, having experimented, if I have really found it, then my belief has been substantiated. Till then, it is a belief. So there is nothing wrong with the belief, because a belief is a hypothesis based on the evidence given to us for thousands of years by great people who have experienced it. So accept it first. Then, step number 2, experiment on it and figure out if it is true. If it is not true, you reject it. But don't start by rejection. Acceptance is a better start than rejection. Therefore, belief is a better start than non-belief. This is what I am trying to say. So we start with that and then we proceed and go beyond. Now, in this context, I need to say another one thing. Hello, sir. Namaste. One more thing. We have, according to the understanding of the great sages, and according to the personal experience of great yogis, we know that in us exists infinite source of power and energy. Theoretically we know, yes, it is so. Now, I'm going to tell you a small story. There is a man, very old and very older than me, old and very weak looking, with torn clothes, walking on the footpath, on the road, near the footpath. Looking at him, you would think that in the next minute he is going to fall down and die. So weak. Imagine a situation where a car comes so close to him and stops with the screeching of brakes and this whole thing that happens when a car suddenly brakes. 9 times out of 10, this man, who we thought would die at any time because he can't walk 2 steps, would have cleared all long jump records. Where did this energy come from? It was not given by the car. It was not given by the road. Where did it come from? It must have come from inside. How did it suddenly get expressed? Because if you look at the biological aspect, somebody would say that in that sudden moment, the limbic system went into action. Doctors are here. And then adrenaline was pumped into the system and he reacted and jumped. Okay, that is the biological understanding. Where is the switch for this? How did this happen? Look at this carefully. if this person had continued to think on his own logical lines. His own logical lines means the limited logic that we all have. One more doctor is here. The limited logic that we have, that I am powerless, I am weak, I haven't eaten for 10 days, I might die any time. Now what happens? Thought can be a liberator as well as a conditioner. Here thought has conditioned me to say that I cannot do anything. But in the spur of the moment, to save my soul, to save myself, I had to suspend my thinking for a while. Is that right? For a second, I am not even reasoning. I'm just doing something. You may say it's a reaction of the limbic system. Okay, agreed. But what has happened here is the conditioning of the mind based on ordinary facts, on the five senses, has been overtaken by the desire to survive. And therefore, the infinite potential that is him has manifested itself. Here what? We say we should think. What has happened here is thinking has stopped. So belief is the beginning of understanding that beyond our ordinary logic, there might be something beyond, which we cannot understand and grasp because we are always stuck to this small little intellectual reasoning that we have based on our five senses. Now, this energy which is in us may be activated and manifested in numerous ways, and some of the things which we call miracles are things that happen because this infinite potential has been tapped. We call it a miracle because we don't know the mechanism behind it. There is no miracle. The laws which bring about that activity is not known to us. Therefore, we call it a miracle. When it is known, it's no longer a miracle. So, to conclude, because I have only half an hour, sir. To conclude, let me say this. That first, start with a belief that perhaps thousands of years of hypotheses may not be wrong. Don't say they are all wrong. Then there is no exploration, no investigation. Say maybe. Then accept that as a belief or a hypothesis. Then work towards it as stipulated and given by people for thousands of years in different shastras. Work towards it. And when you have touched it, you know it. If you don't touch it, you can say, well, maybe two reasons. I may not have worked hard enough. Could be. Or maybe it's a wrong method. Don't still reject it. Say, let me try something else. But don't leave the fact that there are many things which cannot be understood by the ordinary mind. To understand this is the beginning of belief. Faith and belief are even essential for us to believe that 2 minutes later I am going to stand here and speak. Tell me, what if I have a cardiac arrest? How do the whole world survives on the faith that tomorrow I am going to be alive? It's faith, believe me. Nobody knows. And belief and faith are not two different things. Belief is the bigger dimension of faith. Now, central to all this is first the belief in oneself. If we don't have belief in oneself, if you don't have faith in ourselves, we can neither do anything about ourselves, nor can we do anything about the world. There has to be belief. When I started, say, the Venerable Dharma Adhikari knows that when we started on a Padyatra from Kanyakumari to Kashmir and covered 7,500, I'm not boasting, 7,500 kilometers, taking 1 year and 4 months walking. Like Johnny Walker, keep walking. When we did that, everybody asked me, what is this? How are you going to do it? Even Dr. Karan Singh said, after 1 month you might get tired and fall down and the others will walk. I said, we'll see. I was not much younger than now. I'm 68 now, 2 years ago. where did the energy come from? Did we eat any special foods, or did we eat fried fish every day? No. It's a belief. Belief that we have to do something. And this entire world, whoever, whatever, wherever has achieved something great, which is beyond belief, it has always started with a belief in something. And of all, I think, a belief in oneself is most important. If you lose that, then we have lost the world. Thank you very much.
We now move on to the next speaker, Dr. Pavagada Prakash Rao, who will speak to us about the essence of Ramayana. Is it a reality? Vidwan Pavagada Prakash Rao is an outstanding orator and scholar. Most of you would have regularly watched his program on television. His eloquence in the analysis of Vedic texts, Upanishads, and Puranas is unparalleled. A practicing lawyer and Kannada professor, Vidwan Pavagada Prakash Rao was drawn to spiritual scholastic pursuit, gifted with an aura of knowledge, laced with logic and philosophy. The suave grace and grit in his thoughts have become his identity. With a blend of wit and wisdom, Pavagada Prakash Rao, through his discourses, enables the seeker to find answers within and evolve. Over to him, Vidwan Pavagada Prakash Rao.
ವಿಘ್ನರಾಜ ವಿಶುದ್ಧವಾಣಿ ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟ ವಿಷ್ಣು ವಿಶೇಷ ಶಂಕರ ವಾಯು ಜಲ ಗಗನ ಅನಲ ಅಣು ಓಂಕಾರ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡ ಆದಿಮಧ್ಯ ಅಂತದ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಕ್ಕೆ ಸಚ್ಚಿತ್ ಆನಂದ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಕ್ಕೆ ರೂಪು ನೂರರ ಶುದ್ಧ ಚೈತನ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಮೋ ನಮಃ. 100ಕ್ಕೆ 98 ಮಂದಿ ನಮ್ಮಂಥವ್ರು. ಯಾರಿದ್ರೋ ಯಾರು ಬಿಟ್ರಿ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಾಕಪ್ಪ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ರಾಮ 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 ಅಂತ ಧನ್ಯತಾ ಭಾವದಿಂದ ಸಾಯೋ ತನಕ ರಾಮಕೋಟಿಯನ್ನು ಬರೀತಕ್ಕಂಥ 100ಕ್ಕೆ 98 ಮಂದಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಧರ್ಮದಲ್ಲೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ದೇವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆಯೂ ಎಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲೂ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅದೇ ಭಾವ. 100ಕ್ಕೆ 98 ಮಂದಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಶೇಕಡ 2 ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ 1.5 ಶ್ರೀರಾಮರಿದ್ದರೋ ಇದರೆಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರು, ನಿಜವಾದ ಹೆಸರೇನು, ಅವರಪ್ಪನ ಹೆಸರೇನು, ಚಾರಿತ್ರಿಕಾಂಶಗಳ ದಾಖಲಾತಿಯನ್ನು ಬಯಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಂದಿ. ಇನ್ನು 0.5 0.5 ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಮೀರಿದವರು. ರಾಮ ಇದ್ದರೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ, ಅಯೋಧ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೌದೋ ಅಲ್ವೋ, ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ಕಣಪ್ಪ, ಶುದ್ಧ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಪರಾತ್ಪರ ರಾಮ, ಅಷ್ಟೇನ್ರಿ ನಮಗೆ ಅಂತ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾನಂದವನ್ನು, ದಿವ್ಯವಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಅನುಭೂತಿಯನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಬಿಡಿ ಮಂದಿ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಈ ಮಧ್ಯದ ಮಂದಿಗೆ. 1.5 ಮಂದಿ ರಾಮಾಯಣದ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವದ ಸತ್ಯಾಸತ್ಯತೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನು ಕೇಳತಕ್ಕವರನ್ನು ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಅಥವಾ ಕೊನೆಗೊಂದು 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಈ ಐತಿಹಾಸಿಕ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೋತ್ತರಗಳೋ ಅಥವಾ ಸಮಾಧಾನ